Meet the editor, Journal of Family Business Management. Today, we are here with Associate Professor Vanessa Ratten. How are you, Vanessa?
I'm good, Park. How are you? It's nice to talk to you.
Nice to see you today, and thank you so much for your time. Now, let's could you please briefly mention about the Journal of Family Business Management?
Yeah, so the Journal of Family Business Management, it's a journal published by Emerald. Currently, there are 6 issues per year. So the first issue just came out for this year. And then every 2 months, there's a new issue. So there's 6 issues per year. So Journal of Family Business Management, it's one of the top 3 journals in family business. So Texas State University has a ranking, and they have 3 family business journals, and Journal of Family Business Management is one of the top 3 journals. So like in other areas, the journals are recognized in terms of their relevance for the field. So Journal of Family Business Management, it's been publishing for some time. Last year there was 4 issues. This year there's 6 issues. And it publishes research primarily around family business management. So the emphasis is on the management part of family business, but it's on a range of different topics related to family business, including things like succession issues, continuity, stock market changes, looking at board of directors, looking at family dynamics, in terms of different types of family businesses like family farms, or family, restaurants. So there's a really wide
Yes.
range of topics. And also family business is one of the most important business segments in the world. So a large percentage of all businesses are family businesses. So it's really important, part of society, and it's a really important business structure.
Yes, I have seen a few interesting review or viewpoint paper from those who have, run business and all that and published in your journal in the past few months as well. So it's actually quite exciting to see some of those interesting talk and in converted into the conversation of the article. So now, if you touch in terms of the metric of the journals, do you have any metric to share with us?
Yeah, so in terms of the metrics, so Journal of Family Business Management, it's a quartile 1 journal. So on Scopus, it's quartile 1. It's not listed on the Australian Business Deans list. However, it's quartile 1. So that's actually better because it doesn't have a ABC rating. Instead, you can measure it by quartile 1.
Absolutely.
So in terms of the metrics, it's quartile 1. And also in terms of the metrics, the site scores are going up continually too. So it's getting quite a big lift in terms of the site scores, in terms of the number of people citing the journal. So with family business, there's a really strong sense of community too. So in terms of the journal, there's a lot of people who really love family business. It's their core area of research. So it's really kind of good community in terms of, reviewers are really helpful. Authors are really interested in the topic, and they also want to particularly publish in a journal that's got family business in it. So it's recognized as the Journal of Family Business Management, which is important compared to other journals, that might have family business as a subtopic, but it's not really their main topic. So, when you go to the Journal of Family Business Management, you can read, that all the articles are going to be related to family business in some way. And it's also really international. So in terms of geographic diversity, there's articles and readers from a range of countries, including Australia, but also North America, Europe, Africa, Asia, and other parts of the world. So it's really international in terms of how it's covered, and the kind of topics like culture, and other areas in terms of policy, government regulations, government policy. So it's a really interesting field, but the metrics, it's quartile 1. So that's a really kind of good metric to base it on. And also being on the ranking list of that Texas, State University ranking of top 3 journals means that there's quite a lot of bibliometrics and other kind of statistic data that comes out. And that's really important in terms of kind of the metrics showing that it's a top quality journal. And also in terms of metrics, you can also tell by the people who are publishing in the journal. So if you have a look at the journal's homepage, and look at the table of contents, the metrics, you can also gauge the top names are publishing in the journal, well-known family business scholars, as well as emerging family business scholars that are new to the field. But there's really kind of recognizable names that have got high citations, and are really kind of globally known in the family business field.
Yes, exactly. And I can see that the site score actually increasing rapidly since last 2 years as well. And
Yes,
with
yeah.
the new leadership and also direction and strategy, I think the journal will become, even stronger. Now, in terms of review time, what is the review time that the author could be expecting?
Yeah, so with the review time, we're very in the journal, we're very we want to have a good review time. So make sure it's thorough, but also have a good response. So normally as soon as the article is sent to the journal, it'll be reviewed in terms of its fit, in terms of how it's written, and then it will be sent out. So normally, like in 1 or 2 days from submission, it will be sent out to reviewers. So we try and have a number of reviewers, that review each article. So in terms of review time, it can really it can range. So it really depends on the responsiveness of the reviewers and the willingness of reviewers to review. But we have a pretty good response time normally because we've got really good reviewers that are really engaged in family business management. So I think we've got really in terms of response time, it's quite good. So normally like 1 or 2 days and the article will be sent to reviewers. And then, normally estimate like 2 or 3 weeks, to get a first response in terms of the first review, but that can depend on, the timeliness of the reviewers and also the topic of the article in terms of, whether there's enough reviewers to fit that specific topic.
Yes, yes. By knowing you, Vanessa, and your team, I know that you work very hard in terms of the editorial and you're really passionate about family business as well. From the history of your family-owned business, I know that you work almost every day in assigning reviewer and send out. So author doesn't have to be afraid that if it take too long for you to assign in terms of that. Now, I know that you have a very clear guideline on the author guideline on the website, which is quite clear across the Emerald platform as well. Are there any other additional suggestion you want to provide to your potential authors?
Yeah, so I think it's really important to personalize, like when you submit, to write a nice letter to the editor. So make sure you name them, like put a personalized name. Really helps and shows that you've actually looked at the journal and you know who the editorial team is. So when you're writing the letter to the editor, it's really important to put the editor's name or the other associate editors' names to personalize it, but also to talk a little bit about why your paper is important, and also to sign it with your name, and your affiliation. So I think it's really important because when in the online system, that will be looked at first. And some authors put some suggested reviewers, which are helpful too. But I think it's really important in terms like personalizing it.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for that suggestion. Now, in terms of the methodology and sampling, do you have any preference in terms of methodology in the Journal of Family Business Management?
Yeah, so with the journal, there's no kind of preference. So we're really open in terms of methodology. So we consider all different types of methodology, so both qualitative and quantitative, and different sample sizes. So we've had some studies on like large panel data and large surveys, but we've also had some studies on like small interview studies, that are really detailed, as well as case studies. And we also look at like conceptual theoretical papers, as well as policy and perspective articles. So it really depends on how the paper is written, the quality of the article, and also kind of the themes and topics. So we take an open approach to methodology. And you can see from the articles that are being published, there's a real range of topic areas. So there's no kind of preference, but we're open to methodology as well, as long as the quality is good quality.
Yes, yes. So that is very good to sum up in that sense. Especially, I noticed that the paper that have been published in this journal have a very good conversation within itself because of this the family business. They refer back to the previous conversation from previous various type of industry and also country as well. So it's like a true international type of journal that is not like all the paper from one country or one specific region. So I think that is a point that I really feel appreciate your journal in this sense. Now, if you talk about uh, some suggestion for what your reader would be expect to see in the published journal, what will be that one or two things that is different from other journal for the reader perspective?
From the reader perspective, I think, like as you said, like that global internationalization perspective. So we're looking at family business from a number of different contexts, a number of different countries. So I think that is different. Also, like the range of methodologies, but also there's a conversation. So normally the articles are building on the previous research, and we also expect authors to cite previous research in the journal to show that they're engaged in the conversation in terms of, respecting what other theories and people have said, but also taking into account new contexts. So particularly with issues like artificial intelligence, that's really kind of building on new themes in family business, but we need to kind of think about how we can refigure previous theories. So I think, that readers can expect to see some interesting and exciting new topics like artificial intelligence in family business, because, the articles come online quite quickly after they've been accepted. So there's a real timeliness, which is really important, particularly in the past with topics like COVID. It was really important to publish those quickly. And I think it's really important, to publish the current topical issues quickly, like artificial intelligence, so that readers can expect to see online first, really kind of topical issues that are really kind of relevant. So both from a methodology theoretical, but also a practical and policy perspective. So, for example, the European Union legislating about artificial intelligence, and we've had some really highly downloaded articles about artificial intelligence in family business. And I think that's really kind of novel and innovative to have those kind of articles published online first in the journal.
Yes, I think you have made a very good point about the timely and then publish fast through the online first. Obviously, after the various peer review stages there, but the point is publish as soon as it gets accepted, and you don't have to wait until it's assigned the issue. So that is good. So that is, the business practice can see as fast as it's possible and is still relevant to the current trend in the industry. Now, last thing we want to talk about, if you can, do you have say 2 or 3 tips for your potential authors?
Yeah, so my tips would be to personalize your submission to it. So to put the editor's name, to also have like a university email. So don't put like a Gmail or Yahoo, put a university email so people can, know that it's you. So I think that's important, as well as making sure that you cite some articles in the journal, because you need to do that to show that your article fits the Journal of Family Business Management. So you need to show that you're fitting with the journal in terms of the research that has been done, and then you're extending it and you're building upon it. So I think, when you're doing the article, to make sure it's formatted according to the journal specifications, but also to include articles from the journal, but also recent articles. So try and have like 2023, and if possible, like we're only in February, but 2024 articles, because at a glance, the first thing people will do is normally see how up to date the literature is. So by having like 2023 or 2024 articles, maybe on the first page, you can really show its relevance to the field, and show that it's an up-to-date and really relevant article.
Yes, those are some of the very good tips that we can definitely use for our experience in publishing with the journal. So this is Meet the Editor, Journal of Family Business Management with Associate Professor Vanessa Ratten. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Park.
Thank you.